Family Court. May I help you?
Hi, who am I speaking with today?
This is Susan O'Brien.
Oh, hi, Miss O'Brien. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, thanks. Yeah, so I'm just calling because I have a few questions. Do you have a minute?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. I called and I asked Melanie, who's always nice, by the way. I called and I asked her a question just regarding, some transcripts or a next court date. She provided me with the next court date. And so I also asked her a question about a transcriptionist, of who the transcriptionist was for a prior court date, specifically the last court date that occurred for a particular case.
And your case?
No, it's not my case. And so I wanted to get just the transcriptionist's name. I don't know what a person could do possibly with the transcriptionist's name of who the transcriber was that day. And so...
So why are you seeking this information if it's not your case?
I'm seeking this information if it's not my case, so that way the person whose case it is can order the transcript. That's actually a good question, and so let me elaborate on that more, Miss O'Brien. So let me see here, on May 26th of 2023, my sister had a court date, which was last week Friday, in front of Aaron Patrice DeLabio. And it was essentially, from what I know, it was a fact-finding hearing. Essentially, from what I know, is there was a person named Peter Dyer Bakerly who was on the, I guess you would call it, the stand for 3 hours, being asked questions by his attorney. My sister sat in the chair and watched that for 3 hours. A little bit over 3 hours, I'm sorry. And what ended up happening is, at the end of those hours, the Niagara County Sheriff came in to arrest her. And from what I understand, the Niagara County Sheriff was waiting in a separate room the entire time, from the beginning. So they must have been sitting in there for over 3 hours waiting to do that, waiting to arrest Katie Riford on that date I just gave you. So now that I gave you a little bit of backstory, Miss O'Brien, maybe that gives a little bit of clarity of why I'm requesting the transcriptionist's name.
In family court, the cases are confidential. If someone, a party to an action, is requesting a transcript, that's something they would ask for themselves, not another party on their behalf. Can
I ask you this? Then how did the newspaper that sued your court obtain the transcripts for some, certain stuff?
I'm not aware of any newspaper suing the court.
Okay, well, I definitely saw the lawsuit against a newspaper suing family court for a proceeding of disqualifying a AFC.
I'm not aware of any newspaper filing a lawsuit against this court.
Okay, so what you're telling me...
My statement is, if someone's requesting a transcript of their proceeding, they would make the request themselves.
And how can that request be made, ma'am?
By them.
Yeah, how?
They would come to the court and request it.
So they have to physically come to the court to request their own transcript?
If that's what they're seeking. Or they could put something in writing, notarized.
It has to be notarized in writing now?
If that's something they're asking for, we have to verify it's that person.
And has it always been that way, ma'am?
I can't speak for the transcriptions office.
So the transcription office is handled differently than your office, ma'am?
I don't know. I am not a court reporter. So what I'm saying is, if somebody is requesting a copy of their own transcript, you're saying you're not a party to it. So you're trying to request it on her behalf. Is that correct?
No, ma'am. What I asked was just for the name of the transcriptionist. That's all I asked for. Because you're saying a person would need it notarized, which I understand what you're saying.
My question is, why are you asking for the person's name?
So I can pass that information along, ma'am.
Okay, so that person can request it themselves.
Because I told you she's currently in the Niagara County Jail. She was arrested.
You didn't tell me she's currently. You said she was arrested. Doesn't mean she's currently at the Niagara County Jail. And even if she is, she can still she can still send a letter requesting. You cannot appear on her behalf to request something, is what I'm saying. If she's requesting, she can put that in writing.
Okay, so how is she going to
Okay.
So let me ask my other question. I have another question. And so my other question is, I've been very cordial to you, and I appreciate you being cordial to me. So my other question is, today is the 30th of June, and I've been told by...
Well, it's the 30th of May.
Oh, sorry.
Not the 30th of June.
Sorry. Yes, 30th of May. Sorry about that. And if her next court date is on Friday, which is the 2nd of June, how is she going to attend that if she's in jail?
That's something the court would take care of. If she needs to be brought over, a transport order would be done to have her brought over. Just because someone's incarcerated does not preclude them from appearing for a court proceeding. That does not make a difference.
Well, how are they to have arranged for witnesses to be there, ma'am?
That's something that's a legal question the family court cannot answer.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay. Well, you're asking a lot of questions about a case that's not yours. So
yes,
as far as if she needs to be brought in person, that will be arranged.
Because what I wanted to tell you, Miss O'Brien, is I wanted to tell you that I was looking at my notes, and in my notes I saw that Erin Patrice DeLabio, stated that she was going to continue, even if Katie was in jail. Essentially, that's what she said.
Were you in the courtroom?
I was just looking at my notes from what I was told, ma'am.
Okay, were you in the courtroom?
Ma'am, I couldn't have been.
You're not answering my question, sir.
Ma'am, I couldn't have been. I just told you I couldn't have been.
Okay, so you're looking at notes and you did not hear it from the judge. Is that correct?
Right, and that's why I'm asking you a question. That's why I'm asking you a question. That's what I saw in my notes, because I took notes today. And in my notes...
You took notes today. You did not take notes in the courtroom because you were not in the courtroom. Is that correct?
Correct, ma'am. I wasn't in the courtroom on that day. That's what I just said.
So you're making a statement that's something that the judge stated when you were not there to hear it.
No, I'm asking you a question regarding it.
You made a statement that she said basically that the case will go forward, and if she's in jail, the case will still go on. And that's what your notes indicate, but yet you're not in the courtroom, so you don't know if that's exactly what was stated or not.
Ma'am, this isn't a notarized statement by me. I'm just telling you what I've heard and what I have noted.
I know. I'm replying to what you're telling me.
Yes, and I'm just telling you what I have noted, what I've heard from people. That's just...
So what you heard from people, so this is in the third person?
No, so what I was asking you a question about that, is that if someone isn't there, do you just proceed?
So you're assuming that she will not be appearing prior to the court date. You're assuming that she will not be appearing.
No, I'm asking you a question.
And I already made that statement that if she's incarcerated, the court will make arrangements to have her brought over.
And
right.
and I just have one other question. Okay. I have one other question, ma'am. And my other question is, what floor are you located on?
What floor am I located on right now?
No, ma'am. Like, what floor is the family court located on?
It depends on which location you're referring to. There's a lot of courtrooms. There's a lot of courts.
Okay, the let me see. I have it up on my computer here. No worries.
Are you recording this to make sure you get all the information down?
Did I tell you that?
I'm asking you a question that you didn't tell me I'm asking.
I'm not really sure that I understand your question. Can you rephrase that, please?
Are you recording this conversation?
With what? And so the question I was going to ask is the Niagara County Family Court.
So you are recording. You're not telling me you're not.
Miss O'Brien, I don't have time for these games. Can you tell me the Niagara County? I asked
So
you.
you're the one who called the court. I answered your questions.
I had one other question, then you went directly to the next. My other question was.
What is your last question?
What floor is the Niagara County Family Court on, ma'am?
Which location? We have 2 court locations.
The Niagara County Family Court located at 175 Holly Street, Lockport, New York, 14094.
They are located on the 2nd floor.
Located on the 2nd floor. Okay. Thank you. And so what purpose did you want to know about what you had asked about the previous question? What purpose?
Yeah, because I can ask you questions the same way as you ask me questions.
Okay, fair enough. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.